Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for Tatler Talks in partnership with the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold2 5G. My name is Anton Santiago, the editor-in-chief of the Tatler Philippines. You're all in for a special treat tonight with a very, very special lady. I met her around February of this year. And like a lot of you, I've admired her from afar for her beauty, poise, and intelligence. And of course, for bagging the Miss Universe crown in 2017. You know, there's a saying that you never know a true person's character until you've traveled with them. And I can vouch for you that she is a true lady in every sense of the word. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome philanthropist, singer, model, pride of the Philippines, Miss Universe 2017, Miss Catriona Gray.
Hi, Anton.
Hey, Kat, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for that lovely intro. And hi to everyone who is tuned in with us tonight. Thanks for carving out a small part of your evening to sit down and have a chat with us.
You are looking as usual amazing
Thank
and
you.
beautiful, always beautiful. And you are such a, I don't know, you're such a lovely person inside and out. I mean, I don't want to put so much, I'm sure you've heard it so many times before, but because coming from me to you, you are just absolutely gorgeous and lovely.
Thank
So
you.
let's start off by talking about our amazing trip this month. You know, actually, it was our last trip before the lockdown, right?
Yes.
Was it your last trip as well?
Yeah, my last international trip. So, earlier this year in February, Anton and I, along with a group of other people, including my lovely mother, we were able
Yes,
to Milan for Milan Fashion Week, and of course, that was such a memorable experience for me.
I
Of course,
know, and we were invited by Dr. Vicky Bello, you know,
yes,
to go to with her to the fashion week. And I know it was your first time with your mom to go to Italy or to go to Milan. What was it like? What was the food, the shopping, the sights? What was it like for you?
it was such a jam-packed visit. I think we were only there for 4 days, but oh my gosh, we did so much in those 4 days.
I know. We even did a shoot. If you go back to that photo, remember that shoot at 5 in the morning? How cold it was?
Beautiful. It was honestly such a beautiful first trip to Italy for me, because I feel like fashion is just one of those things that, it really sets the tone for getting a feel of a different country just as well as food and culture. And so I feel like we were able to do all of those things. And of course, Fashion Week was just crazy. But I love being able to travel with our group. It was so much fun. It always makes a
Yeah,
difference when a group of people
one
that
of the
you're
best times. And the
yes,
pizza and the restaurants we ate in were amazing.
the pizza.
Yeah. So what was it like for you to attending the shows? I know we were able to go to Prada, Versace, Dolce Gabbana, and guys, for the first time in my life, you know, I attend these shows a lot, and I've never seen anyone who I'm with who was like were all they were pinagkaguluhan in the sense that they were all clamoring for her. They were shouting her name. I was really shocked. We were dropped off quite far away from the Prada show, and it was the first show that we went to. And as soon as they saw Catriona walking, and everybody was screaming her name, and it was like I was shocked. I was crazy. It was. How about for you? I was mesmerized.
It was crazy because I really didn't expect that being my first time in Italy. And also, I don't know that Miss Universe was so popular there
Yeah.
because I didn't realize. But when we went there, just as you said, to the Prada show, it was craziness, and it was such a warm welcome. It really was one of the most unforgettable moments of the whole trip. Just because
Yeah.
I was really so taken aback, just as you said, I really, really was. I think you saw my expression when everything happened.
It was amazing. And you know, Kat, when we left Milan, I think we were already hearing a lot of things about the virus and there's going to be a lockdown. We weren't sure. We were kind of panicky in a sense, but we were leaving, and it was the first time I saw actually people wearing masks in the airport. What were your thoughts? Were you scared? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, it was really something that I guess took us by surprise, because when we left the Philippines to go to Milan, there was no announcements, there was no information that we were given as travelers or anything. I just so happened, I remember the day that we were departing back to the Philippines, Italy had just registered its first cases. And I think at that point, we couldn't foresee that it would reach the point that it has, where it's really defined everyone's life all over the world. But it was a taste of things to come. Wearing masks and taking those different protocols have become a part of our life now.
Yeah, and we're going through 8 months of quarantine or being in a lockdown. What are the things that you have acquired over these almost 8 months? About any hobbies? Are you cooking now? Are you a plantita? I just learned that word from you, actually. That's why I was a little bit amused by that, plantita.
Plantita. I think it stems from me being a very nature baby. Like, I love being around nature. It's something that really, I feel a physical difference in my mentality, in my spirit when I'm surrounded by nature. So I tried to recreate that inside my home, because that was one of the hardest things for me, aside from being away from my family. But other hobbies that I took up, I definitely do a lot of reading. I've become a little bit of a gamer. I want to say a little bit, but I've become a decent gamer. And just working on different projects. I try to stay as busy as possible and just have routines of self-care, of trying to find space for not only productivity, but me time. So just trying to juggle a lot of different things.
Yeah. So what do you miss most as we remain in community quarantine or in lockdown?
I miss my family. Sa totoo lang.
Yeah.
I think it's been one of the hardest parts of the season, being away from them. Since March. So, and it's hard for me too, because when I first won the crown, I kind of made a personal promise to myself, like, I really want to make an effort to spend time with my father, especially. He's getting a little bit old now, at the ripe age of 75. So I made that promise to myself that, it's important for me to spend time with him. But of course, this year I haven't been able to do that. So that's something I definitely miss. And I miss being able to interact with people, whether it's going to church and doing worship at church, or just, aspects of my job, whether it be performing or being able to do speeches or talks with people or just interact with people one-on-one. The absence, I really, really feel it.
I know, and you were telling me that you go to Favorite Church, which is a great church, right?
Yeah.
I love listening to them on video. How have you adapted and kept in touch with friends and family?
Video calling has become like my everyday thing. And thank goodness for the technology that we have, because I think without it, I don't know how I would have survived the season. And it really took me aback, because I consider myself a little bit of a homebody, quite quiet and shy in my personal space. But I really do miss that human interaction, and that's why the technology that I have on hand has just been a lifesaver. It's helped moments where I feel alone, or if I need to entertain myself, I'm either watching content or watching movies, or also creating content for my own platforms. Like, technology has just, it's really being able to get me through. And I feel really lucky, because I feel like I've discovered like the tech that just really gets me. How it's such a big part of our everyday life. It's so integrated into everything we do that having the right technology just life easier.
I know, and there's something with you that you want to
yes, and
show.
Of course, that's why I'm so excited that we're talking about one of my favorite babies. It's the Galaxy Z Fold2. And it's a very much of a game changer. It doesn't only look cool and very techy, but it's so sleek and it's so sophisticated. It has this beautiful mystic bronze color that you can see on the screen right now. And the thing that gets me every time, it's like you're carrying a tablet in your pocket. And I mean, for someone like me that I'm constantly juggling so many different things, I'm trying to stay productive. I'm always trying to connect with different people, whether it be my family, my friends, or my work colleagues. It's amazing. And it allows me to do my job to the best of my ability.
Yeah. Remember that, I don't know if I think you're too young for this, but do you remember the pagers? Were you a pager baby? Were you were there? You had a pager?
How far we've come with technology.
Exactly. those huge cell phones were this big, right? I,
Mhm.
we've come so far in the technology, and but consistent upgrades with Samsung has been known for its Galaxy line, and for years they've been producing excellent top of the line gadgets. As a Samsung user, what's your favorite feature the brand offers?
Oh, it has to be the camera. I think for me in the work that I do, whether it even just be capturing personal moments for me to look back on, moments with my family, moments with my work or my travels, or whether it be creating content from my platforms to connect to my audience, the camera is amazing. Like low
Hmm.
light, no problem. Zoom, no problem. It brings out colors. It makes you look your best. And I can really attribute this to like my Instagram game, my social media game. And
Yeah,
just such a powerful little unit. And once you go Galaxy, once you go Team Galaxy Anton, you never go back.
exactly. And I know that I can see from your what you're holding. You can fold it, right? There's a foldable. It's amazing. I mean, crazy, right? Yeah. Technology is right. So earlier on, before we did this Tatler Talks, we did some photo shoots to show the capabilities of the camera, and we're going to show this now.
Yes, you were able to do a quick shoot earlier. So something really cool that you can do with this phone is usually when you have a normal smartphone, you take your selfies using your front camera. But with the Galaxy Z Fold2, you can take your selfies with your back camera, utilizing the amazing specs and getting those super high crisp quality photos for your selfies. And you can even see the preview on your front screen, which is super, super
Yeah,
cool.
this is like the dual preview, right? This one you're doing right now. You can see,
Exactly. So
and
those of you who love to like dress up for your Zoom meetings and be on point, this is like a very cool feature. It sets up like a little desktop almost, and you can take
yeah,
photos like.
it's really cool. And then there's some photos like this one's ultra wide with 10 times zoom.
Yeah, so this I love when I'm traveling. So if you're on a safari, for example, and you want to zoom into your subject, the zoom is more than capable. And if you want that wide angle to capture beautiful landscapes or super long
Ooh,
legs, OTs, the wide angle has you covered.
that looks so cool. There have been so many quarantine photo shoots both here and abroad. What's your take on the whole experience? And are you used to the new protocols by now? Like, how many times have you been swabbed? I've been swabbed twice. How many times have you been swabbed? Three
3 times.
times.
Yeah, and I completely understand the need for the protocols and for us to adjust in this way because it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of looking out for your colleagues and also for your friends and family
True.
who you belong to. And I guess I have adapted in a way. It's just become this new routine, as we were talking about routines earlier. And it's just something that I guess we'll adjust back from when it's no longer needed. But for now, it's something we really do to keep safe and to really ensure the safety of others.
True. We're going to do 5 quick fire questions. I know you're going to ace this. So, if your life was, you're so good at this. If your life was a song, what would it be?
Ooh, in my head for a while has been Fight Song by Rachel Flatbed. I think it's a very empowering and encouraging message. I feel that it's what we
Yeah,
all
it's a
need.
fantastic song. When and where were you the happiest?
Because I miss my parents so much, I'm gonna have to say earlier this year, Christmas, New Year time, I was in Australia with them and I really missed them and I was really happy and I love my parents so much, so I would choose them.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
Ooh, I was always outdoors when I was a little girl and I used to love climbing trees. Whatever tree was nearby our house, I would be in it. And it would be always be mango trees. I remember when I was around 7 years old, I was always climbing mango trees.
Yeah. And who are your style icons?
I don't have style icons per se, but I do have a lot of sources where I get inspiration from, and I'm
Mhm.
incredibly inspired by Filipino culture.
And what is your most iconic Miss Universe moment?
Definitely my final walk with Neo. I am such a fan of him, and for that to be my top 3 moment, where it was just the three of us in the final top three of Miss Universe, and then to be with someone who I really look up to as a musician, and in Thailand, and just the crowd. It's one of my favorite moments ever, not just in Miss Universe experience.
Okay. In this new normal, I'm on Zoom meetings all day, on my phone all day. What about you? What do you? That guy made so much billions. That Zoom guy, crazy.
In a way, I like the effectiveness of video conferencing calls. I mean, it cuts out, the kunwari traffic situation. But yeah, I'm always on Zoom meetings with my team, constantly working on different projects. And I feel like I'm just juggling so many different hats. And I'm sure, Anton, you can relate to that.
I know, yeah.
Having a gadget that can just multitask as much as I need to multitask is the biggest help. And that's why I really love the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold2. What's really cool about it is when you open it up to your tablet mode, you can actually have up to 3 apps running simultaneously. So that's like multitasking in a gadget, all that you could ever need. So for example, I could have my notes up here, my video conference here, and like my gallery here. And I'm even able to click and drag when possible. And it just allows me to multitask and be super duper productive. And I feel that that's kind of what you need when you're on the go and you're juggling so many different things. I'm sure busybodies out there can relate.
Exactly. And like you were mentioning earlier about notes and your workflow, I mean, they're totally like you can put them all in and you can have 3 screens and all these things, right?
Yes, exactly. It's and I'm one of those people that, I don't know if you're the same, Anton. I love taking notes. Because I feel like my mind's going at 100 miles an hour sometimes, or even I can never sit still. And so I find that writing down, typing into my phone really helps me process. And also if I have ideas, it allows me to store them to access later or to look back on or to reflect. So note-taking capabilities in this phone is really, really great. And organizing tasks and even my schedules, because I'm one of those forgetful people. If I don't have reminders, it'll just disappear from my mind. So that's why I really love not only the Z Fold2, but also I have the whole Samsung ecosystem or the Galaxy ecosystem. So that's paired with my Galaxy Live Buds and also my Watch 3.
Your watch.
3. So cool. I never forget an appointment. Or I'm also always listening to music, whether it's working out or just, waking up or listening to an audiobook. I just find having the right tools, the right tech allows you to really maximize your time and be the most productive you can be.
Yeah. So part of your career requires you to do a lot of live interviews like we're doing tonight. So has Samsung technology made that easier?
Oh, you know what, Anton? I really have grown such a huge appreciation for the whole team that's usually involved in things like this. And back in our old normal, have people to help for glam, for lighting, for the camera. But now we've practically become one-man bands, right? It's a one-man team. Exactly. So having Samsung Galaxy tech, it's made my life so much easier because I don't need to worry about camera quality, my footage quality, because I do a lot of videos for my PSAs and my announcements for my advocacies. And so just having the right tool with a camera that is never going to fail you, even capturing the right audio is just, it takes one more worry from your mind. And that's what I really love. It allows me to just be in front of the camera and be able to communicate to my audience without having to think and worry, like, am I capturing it well? Because my gadget's doing that for me.
Exactly. And everyone's so because of lockdown, everyone's glued to their TVs. So are you watching can you watch shows? Are you watching YouTube channels, vlogs?
I'm watching the Home Edit and also Queer Eye. I love the feel-good, very light type shows. I'm not really into super heavy dramas at the moment because I get too attached to the storyline. But I just love, when it's been a long day at work or I'm getting ready and doing my makeup, I'll just set up my phone on my desk or my vanity and I'll just play my favorite YouTube videos or Netflix. And it's just such an easy viewing experience. And you can just sit it like this and have a little screen there. And the battery life never has ever failed me, which I guess could be someone's concern if you see the amount of screens on this phone is 3 technically.
Yeah.
But the battery life is fantastic, and the charging time is very, very efficient. It can run multiple apps, and the phone still runs smoothly, so no problems whatsoever. How about
I
you,
know, and
Anton?
you know what? I have my own phone too. And look, can you see that? I can
Yes.
see our September issue on the screen, and it's so big, like you said earlier, like a tablet, and you can see all the issues and stuff like this. And wait 1 minute, I have to show this as well. Who's that?
It's my
So
cover
that
from when
was
I was
in 2017,
yeah.
right after you won. So thank you for coming out in our Tatler
Oh,
magazine as well.
and happy 19th anniversary, Tatler
Oh, thank you
Philippines.
so much. I started out when I was 12. I'm
Isn't that crazy?
just joking. I'm
What
just
I
joking.
love about Z Fold2 is exactly that. For magazine lovers, people who love to read on your Kindle or whatever reading material you have, this huge screen is great on the eyes and to really appreciate picture quality. So,
Exactly. So I'm gonna ask you a question about Bidding Pilipinas because we all know that it was recently canceled. What are your thoughts on this, and what do you think the future holds for the world of pageantry?
I think a lot of different systems are just adjusting in the best way that they know how. Of course, we want to prioritize the health of the candidates because pageantry is a very close proximity undertaking. I mean, not even with the audiences, but the girls backstage and changing and even all of the activities. So I really feel like the pageant systems and the girls have really undertaken the challenges in the best way that they know how. And what I really love that I'm seeing, because I'm actually a mentor also for the class of Pinipining Pilipinas 2020 with my good friend Nicole Cordoves, and we're really encouraging the girls to take this time to get involved in their community and also be a voice on their platform, because I feel like if you strip pageantry back from the glamour of being on stage and the performance, because that's really what we all love about pageantry, there is also a spokesperson role there, and that's what I really believe is the theme of pageantry. And I feel like the platform has just shifted rather from being a stage now onto a digital platform. So we try to
Yes.
encourage the girls that no matter what they're going through, there is a unique message that they can really put out there. And who knows, you could allow someone in your audience to feel that they're not alone. You could really encourage them, and you could really represent them in a way that maybe they're not being represented so far.
True, so true. And speaking about being a voice, I know you have a lot of organizations that you are part of. What are they? And do you have any advice as to how people can help in their own way?
Ooh, I am working with a lot of amazing organizations. I am the newly appointed Philippine Red Cross Ambassador. I'm advocating
Congratulations.
for all, thank you, and also blood donation drives, the importance on those both things. I'm also a Smile Train Global Ambassador. I advocate for Free Mask for All, which is an initiative to give free masks to the community as well as livelihood to Filipinos. I also work with Young Focus Philippines in giving access to quality education for all. I'm also the NCCA, which is the National Commission of Culture and Arts Ambassador for 2020. And I'm also working with DTI for One Town, One Product in advocating our local products in hopes to really support our communities as they get back on their feet after the pandemic. It's very much a mouthful.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But it's really just something that I'm passionate about. It doesn't feel like work
That's
for
true.
me. And I don't consider that I'm just, hoarding all of these things. I'm very much involved. It's become my work during this pandemic because it's given me this sense of purpose and this sense of hope. Because I think like a lot of people at the beginning of the season when the pandemic happened and everyone was put into lockdown and our mobilization was very much limited, I felt very stuck. I felt stagnant.
Yeah.
I felt disappointed because I thought that 2020 would turn out a certain way, and yet 2020 was canceled. But it really helped me to get involved with my community, to make that my priority, to make that my work and focus my energy there, because in a way, helping others allowed me to help myself, because my anxiety and my hopelessness was cured by knowing that I was just doing something small within my community and hopefully making other people's lives a little bit better whilst we all face the challenges presented by the pandemic. So for those of you who are watching who don't really know how to help, who want to help but don't know why, it doesn't need to be in a monetary amount. And you don't need a title or a platform to do so. It could be rallying for a cause that you believe in or starting a conversation on social media, or it could be, just checking up on a friend, asking how they are if you haven't heard from them in a while, or helping out an elderly neighbor get their groceries. Kindness comes in all different forms and shapes. It doesn't have to be the biggest, grandest scheme. It can be something very, very small, but never let it be defined that it has to be grand in order for you to do it. There should always be just like small things that we can do every day, and it'll make you feel better, I promise.
That is well said. Well said. I remember going to your music. I remember seeing you in a fashion show in Araneta Coliseum. I don't know what year that was, but that was the first time I ever heard your name. And how's your musical career?
This has definitely been a season for me to really hone in on my craft and to really grow my skills and to learn. But also, it was a great opportunity. I was able to relaunch my first ever single that I did for the awareness of Young Focus. It's called We're in This Together. I did a stripped version, and it's available on all digital platforms, all streaming downloads, and all the commissions go straight to the Quality Education for All program at Young Focus, which allows us to give quality access education to the youth of Manila.
You're such wow, you're doing so many things. You're so dynamic, you're so inspiring. And I guess from time to time you had to reinvent yourself. Now that 2020 has pushed us even more to think outside the box, how have you managed all of this?
Well, you can see how many things I'm juggling, Anton. So that's why I really depend on my tech to keep me, really organized, to keep my schedules all in line. And when I have sparks of inspiration or ideas, I need somewhere that I can put them in. And that's why finding tech that works for me has been very, very important. And that's why I really am full-heartedly loving the Galaxy line, because just with the ecosystem, with the Live Buds, with this Galaxy Watch 3, and then with the Galaxy Z Fold2, it just allows me to really be on top of everything. Because at times it can get very overwhelming. I'm very prone to forget things, but it just allows me to really try to be the best that I can be, and that's all I can really ask of myself. But having the right tech and also the right people around you, a team that builds you up and encourages you, is really all you need.
Yes, so true. We're going to ask you three a bit serious questions. So I'm sure you'll ace it again. How do you deal with negativity or criticisms you receive on social media?
Well, I think it's just a part of being in the public eye. With a lot of love comes some people that may not agree with you, people that want to pull you down. When I can, I try to avoid it, but when it can't be helped, I really just have to really found my foundation in my family, my friends, and the community around me that really know me for who I am. And those are the opinions that I value, because, I think with all of us going onto a digital platform, and there's a huge compulsion to really source our worth from our engagement rates, from our likes, from our share numbers.
Yeah.
So it's really important to remind yourself that shouldn't be how you value yourself, because you are so much more than a digital page. You're so much more than a website. You're so much more than an image. You are so much more fantastically unique and deeper than that. And so I try to remind myself of that.
Mm-hmm. So true. We're feeling a little bit more anxious nowadays and paranoid for some. Any advice to people out there who may be feeling unsure? And how do you stay hopeful?
Well, I really empathize with people, because I know that everyone, no matter who you are, what work you found yourself in before, or what lack of work or work you may find yourself in, we're all going through something. I just want to remind you that try not to compare your path to other people, because maybe your coworkers or people around you look like you're doing better, and maybe you're feeling so stuck that comparison makes you feel like you're dragged even lower. Just remember, try not to compare yourself, because you're going on your own path, and they are also going through their own challenges just like you. And the second would be just try to stay hopeful, keep hold of your faith, and keep close to those around you, your family, your friends, because this is a beautiful time to really reconnect, to remind yourself what really matters, and just take it one day at a time. That's all that we can do.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So true. At this point in your life, Kat, where are you? And what is the biggest lesson you've learned so far? And last, I mean, it's one compounded question. And how do you see the future?
Well, at this point in my life, I feel like I'm emerging from a season of growth, from a season of revelation, season of faith. I feel like we've all been stretched in this season. Especially someone like me, I'm very ambitious when it comes to my career, and I'm really visionary. So I really expected plans that I had planned out for myself in 2020 to really materialize, and of course that didn't happen. But it's been a period where I've just kind of been able to pull back and really just reconnect with who am I, and what do I value, and what do I consider precious enough to dedicate my time. And that's why during the season I've really reconnected with friends and family, and really focused on my outreach programs, my community programs, because that's what it makes me happy, and it's something that I really love. And the biggest lesson that I've learned so far is you just need to be kind to yourself. And I honestly feel that when you live a life that helps other people, you'll be a happier person. It sounds very beauty queen, but I'm someone who lives it out, and I testify to that. And how do I see the future? I'm very, very hopeful. Even though we have so long to go, or so far to go, so many challenges yet to overcome and hurdles to overcome, I'm still very hopeful, because I feel like a lot of people are starting to realize and find their voices. And I really hope that this would be a season that we really get involved, whether it be with our family, with our community, with our nation. I hope that we won't just be dormant. I hope that we will be proactive in creating a future that we want to see for everyone.
True. And also to always be grateful, right? And always to show kindness, like you were saying earlier, to be grateful for everything that comes our way, no matter what.
Exactly. It sounds a little bit like, pageant pappy, or like very, but it's so true. If you strip back all of the noise, I mean, being nice to your fellow human beings, and hopefully trying to live out your day-to-day and trying to make other people's day-to-day easier and better and happier and safer. I don't know, it gives you the sense of fulfillment that I don't feel any monetary or career advancement does.
True.
Again, I believe that because that's what I've experienced in my lifetime, and I hope to encourage everyone watching to see if it works for them too. I think we should just always keep striving to be better than we were the day before, and it doesn't have to be this thing found. And that's why having the right innovations, the right tech, it allows us to keep going forward. The right people around us, the right environment. That's what allows us to really keep our spirits high.
Great. And now we're going to take in some live questions from as our Q&A portion. And you know what? There's so many questions about Samsung. So here we go. Let's start. How much is the Galaxy Z Fold2?
The Galaxy Z Fold2 5G retails at 109,990 pesos. But it is definitely an investment worth making.
Worth it.
The real productivity game, and your work game, and for your self-entertainment, everything you could possibly need. Tablet, phone, all in one.
Okay. From Jolyn de la Peña, Queen Cat, how those platforms and organizations help you to reach our fellow Filipinos, to help them, especially now that we're in a pandemic. Shout out, please. Love you.
Thanks, Jolyn. Love you too. I feel like all the platforms that I'm utilizing to really put out my voice about the organizations or the causes I care about, I really have our fellow Filipino in mind. That's why I'm really involved and passionate about my newest roles of NCCA ambassador, and also DTI One Town One Product ambassador. because I really do want to put a spotlight and allow my platforms to spotlight our local communities, especially small businesses, entrepreneurs with their local products, in hopes of really boosting, their livelihood. Because I feel like so many of us have taken a hit. I would really love to see a big, enduring movement to support local here in the Philippines. And I feel like by supporting each other, that's how we can get over this together.
Great. Is the Galaxy Z Fold2 already available?
The Galaxy Z Fold2 is available at the moment for pre-order up until September 24th. So for those interested, your pre-orders in.
Next question. From Paris, Prada, Prince Aquila. Kat, will you still release your book?
Yes, I will. At the beginning of this year, I announced that I'm writing my own book. And I postponed the time a little bit because I just feel that this year has been so rich in lessons and in growth that I want to experience it so I can also put that into the book. And so you guys will just have to wait out for it, but I'm very, very excited for you all to read it.
From Aris and Espino, what's next on your list after this pandemic? Shout out, please, Catriona.
Ooh, thank you, Aries. I think continuing with the projects I've undertaken, I would also love to see a release of some new music. And also more trips around the Philippines so that I could meet all of you and continue to promote our products.
Yeah. Any promos if I pre-order?
Yes, there are some really cool promos regarding the Galaxy Z Fold2. The official launch through the online channels is starting September 25. So our launch offer includes Galaxy Buds Live, like the ones that I'm using tonight, with 12 months Samsung Care Plus and e-vouchers with 0% for up to 36 months, trade-in, save-up program. So for those of you who are already Team Galaxy and are looking to upgrade your tech, that's a really great promo to avail of.
Okay, next question. What do you mean by InfinityO display?
Well, InfinityO, for those who are wondering, is Samsung's design concept where the front camera, which is this little one right here, you can't even see it, is incorporated into the screen. It's so small and it's so unnoticeable, but what that does is allows for a bigger, larger screen experience. So it's actually quite cool. It's not until you really look for the little front camera that you can actually see it. And
Yeah,
guess what?
I see it. I'm sure this is Danielle. Okay, what can you say to help motivate online students who are experiencing online class fatigue?
I really feel for the class that this year, I really do.
Must be tough. Must be very difficult.
Yes, I can't even believe. I mean, look at us as people in the workplace, as adults in the workplace, and we're struggling, with stress in our everyday lives while trying to be productive. What about our students? I mean, they're also facing the challenges of the stress and yet trying to deliver their 100% in school. All I can encourage you is to do your best, because that's all that you can ask yourself for. I am very aware that a lot of us don't have the same resources as everyone else. So I know that internet connectivity, material availability, resources, and even help at home is something that might be very scarce or hard for you to have as a student, but just do your best. I really hope and have hope in our education system that they will not let this year define our generation to be left behind for the class of 2020. Just do your best.
Well said. Next question. Oh, this is very important. Is the phone prone to damage? I always drop my phone. So, yeah.
And I also understand people's worry too, because when you think of a folding phone, you're like, what about dust? What about dirt? What about when you go to the beach and sand? Is it going to get in there and scratch up all the hinge movements? Definitely not. This phone is the accumulation of Samsung's highest tests. It has undergone rigorous testing and it boasts the greatest foldable innovation thus far. So you can definitely rest assured that when you make this purchase, you'll have a phone that will work for you, that you won't have to worry.
Good. I love mobile games. Is Galaxy Z Fold 2 recommended for gamers like me?
I love games too, and yes, Galaxy Z Fold 2 is perfect for gamers because you have 120 hertz refresh rate, 12 gigabytes of RAM, interface, octa-core, good battery, and 5G, no lag, and an unlimited gaming experience.
Okay. Ooh. Since Galaxy Z Fold 2 is a tab when unfolded, do you also recommend this for work to replace a tablet?
I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, I think it's the coolest thing that you can have your smartphone, or you can use like a smartphone on the front screen for all of your smartphone needs, but in your pocket, but that also folds out to a tablet. I think that's very, very cool. And with the folding mechanism, with the multi-tasking opportunities that you have with your apps, that you can function up to 3 apps together simultaneously, it really is for those who are just like me and Anton, I suppose, that are super on the go,
Yeah.
that are doing so many different things, that are always busy. It has the same capabilities, but I think even better than a normal tablet because it's very convenient.
Yeah. From Shaina Galutan, what's your greatest motivation, Queen?
Hi, Shaina. My greatest motivation. Ooh. Have to be 2 things. I think one is that I feel fulfilled with what I'm doing. I'm one of those, like, I feel like I'm one of those millennials that needs to feel that I love what I'm doing. And that really drives me, gives me motivation, because if you don't love what you're doing, then procrastination is going to just, define your life because you're not going to have that drive. And my second would be, I guess some of the most defining moments in my reign and the work that I do are the people that come up to me and tell me like, oh, what you did or what you're doing really made a difference to us. And that's what I really am aiming for, that I'm able to contribute constantly, whether it be something small. I just think that life is just so wonderful when you get to do that.
Great. What can you do with the Galaxy Z Fold 2 that you can't with regular smartphones?
I mean, guys, I mean, your regular smartphone can't do this. Okay, you have three screens that are incredible quality in one. You have the hands-free capability for taking photos or doing your Zoom calls. You don't have to worry about holding your phone. And just the camera quality on this too is phenomenal. Again, those selfies using the back camera, I think, is phenomenal. If you're someone like me that likes capturing like a beauty moment. And it's just that multitasking feature, I can't emphasize it enough, especially when it's partnered with the rest of the Galaxy ecosystem, like the Galaxy Live Buds and the smartwatch, the Galaxy Watch 3. I mean, there's everything's working for you.
Exactly. Good. I think this is the last question from Nicole Faith Miguel. Can we use the Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G underwater? Good question.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we would have to get an official standpoint on that, but I'm not sure. I'll have to come back to you on that, Nicole.
Good question, though. What can you do with the Galaxy Z Fold 2 that you can't with regular smartphones?
Oh,
I think we asked that. Yes, we answered that question. Is that the last question?
I think so.
Well, it was wonderful seeing you via Zoom, differently though, but it's right. So thank you so much for joining us, Kat, and allowing us to do this edition of Tatler Talks with you and Samsung Philippines, of course. I hope to see you soon. Stay safe. And you want to say any parting words to the viewers?
Thank you so much, Anton, firstly, for having the super fun chat. I do hope also that next time we can see each other face to face. Hopefully it won't take another how many months like it has been since Milan. And thank you also to everyone who's tuned in with us tonight. We super appreciate your time, and thanks for hanging out with us. And also for those, again, of you who are interested in getting your very own Galaxy Z Fold 2, it's on pre-order at the moment until September 24, and then we'll be in stores next month. So just keep an eye out for that. And Until then, please, everyone, stay safe, stay hopeful. We're
Yes.
sending you all wherever you are.
Yes, thank you, Kat. Please remember that the Galaxy Z Fold 2G 5G will be released on September 24. Just go to any Samsung stores and www.samsung.com. Thank you again, Kat, for being with us tonight. Thank you, everyone. Wishing you all a good evening and God bless.
Thank
See
you.
you soon. Take care.